Language and lies. The communist uses them very, very well. You see, his plans are all horrible. They're murderous and destructive, and they'll make your life miserable, if not end your life. That's how communists are. And they know that, and they don't want you to know that. So they try to make everything sound so much different than it really is. Washington Post ran a headline today that said, an abortion ban made them teen parents. That's an interesting way to frame that. Joining me now, my buddy Terry Schilling of the American Principles Project, and Shawn Carney, President 40 Days of Life. Terry, an abortion ban made those poor kids parents, bud.
Heaven forbid that these poor kids be given the greatest gift of all time, which is their children, right? These are what's really unfortunate, right? Is we are flushing these pieces of gold. No, they're more valuable than gold. We're flushing them down the toilet. We're sucking them up in their brains and their body parts with vacuums, and we're just discarding it. I don't discard my kids' half-eaten cheeseburgers, Jesse. And so we definitely shouldn't do that with our own flesh and blood. These are the same people that we're producing our children. They're going to be around our bedside when we're dying. They're going to be the ones holding our hand. And the idea that we would eliminate any of them is just so horrific. And we should be ashamed of ourselves for ever allowing this to happen.
Shawn, along those same lines, one of the things I can't believe is every time I read one of these new polls showing how fewer and fewer, frankly, young people, young couples, people in their 20s, 30s, want children. They just don't want them at all. And I'm not saying everyone has to have children. People live their own lives, but have we so poisoned parenthood in this country that people think being a parent sucks?
Yes, and the goal of the left, very scary goal, is to alleviate suffering. And we should never trust the person that says they're going to alleviate all of our suffering. And there is suffering with parenting. But these are our kids. We're supposed to sacrifice. This was the most bizarre and awkward article. At first, I thought it was the Babylon Bee, but it was the Washington Post. These people are all over the map. They are, I guess, frustrated that there was an abortion ban, and now they have these two beautiful little girls, by the way. And they're saying, we couldn't live without them. I love being a dad. I love being a mom. It's great. Oh, wait, one of them's crying. Oh, I have to clean up their lunch. And the reason people don't want kids is because so many people in our nation for a number of decades have made having children somehow this horrible burden. And also, they have attacked women, they've attacked motherhood, and somehow have convinced people that it's not heroic to make your kids lunch and to clean it up, or to take care of them when they're sick, or to clean up the bathroom when it's a total mess. That's part of parenting, and it's heroic.
To make it more about the election here for Terry, I saw an article actually this morning, and they were going over who votes which way in this country. Married men, overwhelmingly Republican. Married women, overwhelmingly Republican. Single men, Republican. But single women, the numbers, it was almost 40 points if I remember right. Single women are the beating heart of the Democrat Party. And call me a cynic, Terry, but I can't help but think those two things are connected, that this society knows married, happy people will vote the way that this society doesn't want them to go, so they tell them all stay single, childless, and miserable.
This was always the plan, Jesse, and we took it hook, line, and sinker. This was the plan. They wanted the country to shift more democratically. That's why they eased up all of the laws and rules around marriage and family and procreation. They made it really difficult to afford a family because they know that once you get married, you're no longer focused only on yourself. You're focused on someone else for once in your life. And then when you fast forward to having a baby for the first time, there's a real biological drive that forces you to think about other people and take care of them. Listen, the single women that are driving the Democratic Party, they're all miserable. And I'm not just saying that, and that's just not speculation. That's in poll after poll after poll. And it's also in the big pharma numbers, right? You look at the primary customers for big pharmaceutical drugs like anti-anxiety medications, antidepressants. It's all the single women in this country that are primarily driving that. They're very unhappy and they're voting unhappily.
I have great news. If you enjoyed that, I have a YouTube channel you can subscribe to. Whatever I do, it'll be right there on YouTube. So go subscribe today.